Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Symcha or Joy, whichever, it doesn't really matter to me. So yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first YouTube video, so it's gonna be exciting. Today I have a testimony to share with you all. And I just wanted to start off by saying all praises to the Most High Yah Congo, Yah Abe, Tatan Zambe, who has brought me and he has kept me, and who will always set his people free. Kembo Kembo to his set apart and precious holy name. Alright, so yeah, let's get right into it. So, when I was younger, about seven, I was watching a lot of shows that were too mature for me, and I started watching this one show that's called Seventh Heaven. Some of you may know of it. It was on, I can't remember what channel it was on, to be honest. I don't really think it matters, but it was a show that was on TV about a Catholic priest, which honestly should have been my first cue, and his family, and there's like 7 kids, so that's what it's called, Seven Heaven. Anyways, it don't really matter. And so I started watching that show, and I was like, I was in it, you know, and I think because my parents were busy, you know, they weren't really paying attention as much to what I was watching, because like for the most part I was watching kids shows, but I mean Seventh Heaven kind of got away because like there was a priest, or it was sort of Christian, so that's how I started watching it. And I was watching Seventh Heaven, and then yeah, things got really mature on that show very quickly. And so they were having sex, and like of course they were married, but like it opened up a doorway of lust in me, and it started a cycle in my life, for sure. I know that the enemy speaks through portals, right? And TV is a portal, so he used that portal to get me to come into agreement with what I was seeing, because I saw that it was something to look forward to. They really glorified it, and so I was like, of course I wanna have sex or whatever. And I was way too young to know any better, you know. And so as I grew older, that portal grew wider. You know, I don't think we really pay attention to how much school children, what they're talking about, what they're watching, all that kind of stuff. But there was definitely a curiosity, you know. And when I was 10, it's almost 12, I was 12, I started watching, reading Wattpad. Wattpad is dangerous, okay? It's dangerous. And Wattpad has a lot of really mature content. So if your child is watching Wattpad, just be aware of the fact that they're open to a lot of mature content, and children can easily bypass the 18 or older thing, because by clicking a button or clicking that little check mark for agreement or whatever, that they're 18 or older, and nobody will know. Literally nobody will know. And that's another way that the enemy gets our children. So yeah, so I started reading on Wattpad because there was a girl in my class who discovered the site, and she said it was the best thing. And of course she was reading really, like, when I say this story had, like, it was too much. It was way too much for a 12-year-old's brain. It was way, way, way too much. And given that there was already a family spirit of lust, just because it's something that most families deal with nowadays, just lust in general. there was already an easy access through my spiritual bloodline that, when given just the right amount of food, of nourishment, quickly grew into a really big problem. So I started reading Wattpad diligently. I loved to be on there. I was there 24/7. I was addicted to this website, like addicted. And then I found the sex stories on the website, and I would go to this one account, and that was my first experience with erotica and all sorts of wicked content on the internet. And so from there, I went from Wattpad to experimenting watching porn. So December of the year that I was 12, that Christmas was after Boxing Day. The Christmas after Boxing Day, I watched pornography for the first time. And then I became addicted to porn. And so that continued for years. Porn literally destroyed my life, like through the spirit of lust and sexual, it's fornication really, but that spirit, also brought in other spirits. And so I was also exposed to depression and gluttony and all sorts of things. And at a very young age, that was kind of overwhelming, really overwhelming. So because in general, I'm very upbeat, it's kind of hard to notice these things. But and then I think not very long after, I got caught. My mom found some interesting photos, let me say, on my phone, or my iPod Touch. Those were the days. And she confronted me about it, and I told her, it's gone, never again, never me, never that. And I was lying. I was a liar, L-I-A-R, a liar. So I told her it was gone. Never again, Mom, I would never. And that was it. And then I got even worse after that. Even worse, because I got bolder, because I was like, bro, I didn't get caught. But I got a lot better at hiding. When I say I was good at hiding. And then after my younger sister was born, I grew old enough to have access to my own bedroom. And then that made things even worse, because now I had real privacy, because I moved into kind of the basement apartment that we had been renting out. And so then I had a lock on my door, because it was somebody else's house, and because the tenant had left, of course, so we decided to reclaim our house, Anyway, so I was severely addicted. I was not getting out of bed. I was depressed, and it was a lot. It was really a lot. So then after that, after years of going through lust struggles, I did a lot of things I'm really not proud of. But, I spoke to people I shouldn't have. I allowed people to become too familiar with me, in a way that should have been crossing boundaries, but because I already had low self-esteem, which I honestly think was contributed to by observing what was around me, especially in porn and looking at social media that really began to affect my self-esteem to the point where I was you know, watching porn more regularly to the point where like there was like times where I was watching porn 3 times a day just to fulfill this ache in me that, you know, I couldn't quite fill with food or with people, because it had been a comfort to me when I was feeling really low. That dopamine rush would kick in and I would feel good for a little while, and then I would crash, and then I would chase it again and again and again, like an addict, you know? And I think pornography is a lot more dangerous than we think it is, because it will pervert people's ideas about what sex is supposed to be, about marriage, about all sorts of things, about how women are to be treated and how men are supposed to be treated as well, because on both sides of the spectrum, pornography just kind of introduces all sorts of extremely abusive behaviors from men and women, and it entrenches it into the psyche of whoever is watching, you know, into the spirit. And that's why, you know, it takes some men. And so when, you know, after you've been healed from most things or whatever, but you never really address lust or whatever, if you get married, that's what will keep your relationship, your sexual relationship with your spouse broken, because you never address the root cause of the lust and what and pornography or sex and what it was filling for you, you know? So yeah, and when I was 19, yeah, I think I was 19. I was 20. When I was 20, I was 19. I was 19 when I went off to university. No, I was 18. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, so when I was 18, I went off to university, and I was still struggling with porn, but it wasn't, like, there was times where it would be really bad, but it didn't remain as bad, you know, because I was trying to seek God at the time, you know, and I was really trying to figure out who he was and all that sort of stuff. So I started watching Transformation Church, and I was trying to really figure out how I could get like healed or delivered from it, you know, and yeah. And after that, when I was, I think it was a year later, I found out that there was a ministry. No, it was that same year. Does that make timeline make sense? Yeah, so I got the opportunity to see Mike Todd in person, and he preached a message that I had heard before, and honestly, I had skipped class to go see him, so I was honestly really disappointed, because I was like, bro, this is on YouTube, why are you doing this? But I was also very much like, oh my gosh, you know, like I was crying, I was like, you know, anyways, but then, right, so, that was a period where I was really trying to seek him or whatever, and then I reconnected with the ministry that where I had seen Mike Todd at, and then I went to one of the conferences they had later. I think it was the next year. Yeah, the next year they had a conference. So I went for that. And then I went, and it was very different experience because I had never been in a church like that. And because all my churches that I'd been in were like white evangelicals, and this was an African church. So I went there and I got laid hands on, and it was the end of the conference. They were doing like a deliverance session, and they said, oh, you know, if you need deliverance, come up to the stage. So I said, of course I need deliverance, you know, I need deliverance. And then I went up on the stage. I went up because they had like hardwood floors, and they had a hardwood floors here, and then there was the stage up here, so just in front of the stage, that area. So I went up there and I got prayed for and laid hands on or whatever. And then I was like laid out on the floor sobbing. I was sobbing, you know, because a pastor said to me, he didn't say to me, but I knew he was talking about me. Sorry guys, but he said, someone in here is getting delivered from a 10-year pornography addiction. And I was like, that's me, that's me. What do you mean that's me? So then I decided to stay in the ministry because I was like, oh my gosh, I got delivered. And I mean, I felt something leave, you know, but then it didn't last long. Like that deliverance didn't last long. And I still felt myself in the cycle of porn and lust. And then like, in my second year of university at that time, I was still going to that ministry, but like I was dealing with lust like so much worse. Like it was terrible, and I couldn't figure out, like it was really traumatic for me because I was really like, I'm trying so hard. Like I really don't want to keep sitting like this, but like I can't stop. Like, and I would ask for advice, and I would get laid hands on, and I would just keep getting delivered, and I couldn't understand why it would not stick. I could not understand. And then I sorry guys, I don't wanna cry. So then I continued in that cycle, and I would go for deliverance, and people would lay hands, and then I get delivered, and then I was still back in the same cycle, and I was so tired of it. I was so tired. I was like reading the Bible, and I would ask him to help me, to free me from this, because I knew it wasn't pleasing him. I knew he wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. I was miserable. Like it was literally the worst time of my life, because I was like, there was so much chaos going around, and like, because I was so filled up with the spirit of lust, like I even, you know, I had some crazy sexual experiences. Like I had to deal with a spirit husband, and even that deliverance didn't even really work, because like it was deeper than a spiritual husband. It was like, but it wasn't just me, you know. I noticed it wasn't just me dealing with lust, and like I mean, the people around me were really young too. We were all really young. It was kind of like it was a campus ministry, you know, so like young people, you know, trying to get saved. Some people were just in it for looks. Some people were trying, you know, but you could tell the difference. And then, so there was a lot of, I really thought I was going to marry one of the guys. Like, that's how bad, that's the strong delusions of lust, I'm telling you, because I wasn't even attracted to him like that. But then, like, it wasn't just him. There was another guy that, like, I was really fighting hard, like, because I was like, I don't want to marry this guy. Like, he's a mess. He's not even a Christian, like, and it was just so chaotic. It was a really chaotic, like, long season of my life, you know, and, like, so I ended up leaving that church, because the Most High really began to speak to me about holiness and righteousness and righteous living. And so I left that ministry because I would have died if I stayed there. Like, honestly, it would have been so bad. Like, I was already doing such wicked things that, like, I needed to go because I just need to sit down and heal, you know? And so I left and I started head covering because the Most High really showed me how important it was to cover my head. And then I noticed a lot of spiritual attacks stopped. And I was like, what? Following the Bible actually works. Obedience is a thing. Oh my gosh. And then he told me to throw out all my clothes that were sexy or were just not modest. So I purged like most of my closet, and that was saying something because, and it wasn't just my closet, it was underwear, it was bras. So I had to throw out all my thongs, all my sexy underwear, like garters or whatever, stuff like that. And it wasn't like I was wearing those things. I don't even know why I had them, to be honest, because I thought eventually, you know, when I lose weight, I'll fit into this and it'll look cute. I was delusional. Anyways, not that I'm not gonna lose weight, but just like, I'm not gonna wear that. What? Anyways, so I had to throw it all out. I had to throw out all my makeup, and so purging a lot of these items in my life really dealt with I'm telling you, it dealt with 90% of the lust issues. And I was like, bro, who deals with lust anymore? Not me, baby. I mean, of course, like I would still stumble, you know, but it wasn't like anywhere near it used to be over the years. You know, it got a lot more bearable, a lot more tolerable. And so yeah, I began to follow the law, keep Shabbat, you know, and really pray and seek the Most High. And so I was attending a Hebrew fellowship for a little bit. And at that fellowship, I was still kind of dealing with lust, I'm not even gonna lie. But it wasn't really anywhere near like where I had been. And then, oh my God, after I left that ministry, because it was spiritually dead, you know, a lot of these Hebrew ministries are like spiritually dead. So found out from another lady in the Hebrew community about this other ministry that she knew about, and they were more spiritual. So I was like, perfect, I need to be in a place where they read the Bible but they're also moving in the spirit, because you can't do one without the other, you know. And so I moved to that guy, you know, and you know, we were using the names Yahuwah, Yahusha at the time, and like the guy, like he could really break down the word, you know, but my lust came back again, and I was like, dang it, I thought I was almost done with this. I was so mad. And then what happened was, I'm kidding. Yeah, so I started struggling with lust again, and I was very confused because it had me heartbroken, because I was convinced that it was me. Like I was bringing this back. I was bringing it back. You know, like I had done this, like this was my fault. But what I didn't realize was one time the leader guy, you know, he had told us to tell each other, I need you. What I didn't realize was that, well, I did realize it, but stupidity, bro. Well, actually, no, I didn't realize. My friend later told me she knew, but I was like, I wish I had known. And he made us come into agreement. So then, like, when you come into agreement with like a ministry or like people or whatever, you can begin to deal with the same problems that they're dealing with simply because you've yoked yourself to them, you know? So I started dealing with lust a lot or whatever, and this guy would really harp on polygamy a lot, you know, and I thought it was really weird or whatever. And I remember like the guy was one of the ladies was trying to tell me, because I was like, I'm not sharing my husband. Oh, well, maybe that's for you, but it ain't for me. Not me. So then she was like, you need to fast more. You are too carnal. You need to go and deal with your flesh. And I remember thinking, who are you? Yes, but no. No, not for... Okay, but to be honest, like, okay, on the low, I was like, well, if that means I don't have to do as much around the house, heck yeah, I'll do it. But like, for the most part, I was like, I don't believe you. And then the guy said something crazy. He said, oh, the Most High is polygamous because he's married to both the northern and southern kingdom. I said, huh? I was like, this guy is not serious. Okay, so then what happened was, he found out this guy was polygamist, and that really made a lot more sense because he was trying to marry two of my sisters and like get us involved in all sorts of foolishness. Anyways, long story short, we pieced it together and we left that ministry. And then the Most High really, like, when I say 90% of the lust left, 90% left. And, you know, now I'm at a place where the Most High has really been showing me how important it is to be really walking in holiness and righteousness. And when it really comes down to it, because I know this is not something that I wanted to hear, as it's really as simple as, you know, not doing it. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but for me, like, what helped me get rid of a lot of the lust was a lot of prayer, a lot of fasting, of course. Fast. But it was really coming into the knowledge that, like, this is not my body, it's a temple. And every time I do this, I am making the Most High to pull further away from me. I'm making Yahweh disgusted. He's disgusted. He doesn't, like, I'm like a pig to him because I do this. And I realized I didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to be hurting him like that because there's already so many people who are hurting him. And me, baby, miss ma'am, that me, I'm not going to hell. I just, I don't want to go to hell. It's ghetto there. I don't want to go there. So, yeah. So I really hope this helped. That's kind of my testimony. But, yeah, keeping the laws is really what sanctified me and what delivered me from lust. Because there's a lot of lust involved, a lot of foolishness, a lot of spirits involved with a lot of these religions. You know, Christianity, Hebrew Israelites, there's a lot. It's just too much. It's too much lust, like, and when you fully disconnect from that, you disconnect from the world fully by, you know, getting rid of that music. Because it's not like when I became a Christian, I wasn't listening to worldly music like that. I was listening to mostly Christian music, and I was still dealing with lust. And then after a point, there was like, I couldn't listen to those that music anymore. So, yeah. But I just want to say, if he did it for me, okay, and he is still working on me, then he can still do it for you. So be encouraged and be strengthened by this testimony, because he's still working and he is still sanctifying, he's still purifying, but most importantly, he is still purging. And he loves his people. He loves the Banabetu. So, get right, because sexual sin is an abomination. It's an abomination. And if you're caught in that, I don't know what to say, he's giving us this time to repent. He's giving us this time to honor him with our bodies and with our minds. So as much as it is important to purify to not sin with your flesh, you also have to be very cognizant of the thoughts that we're having, because it's also a sin to think about someone sexually, to purify our minds, renew our minds daily in the word, and being washed by the truth that is found in his scriptures. So yeah, that's all for me, and I hope this helps. If you do want to send me an email, my email is symchaspeaks@gmail.com. I'll have it linked in the description box, and if you want to hear some more testimonies or some worship or whatever, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Instagram at Symcha_, and I'll be posting a lot more there too, because there's a lot of things to talk about, because we are learning to walk in holiness and in righteousness, and to be pure and spotless, so that we can make it to the wilderness. And for those of you who have not been called to the wilderness but are here to fight and to war against the dragon and the beast, and to be pure before him. And so yeah, that's it for me. So I guess that's it. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Salama.